Further classification as major and minor millets. Millets that are grown majorly, that is easy to grow, though they require some irrigation facilities, but they are also they are still consumed by the peoples, like, so they fall under major millets category. Okay, like your sorghum is example. But on the other hand, we have minor millets. Basically, these millets are grown for fodder purpose, which means they are used for feeding the livestock. Okay, they are not generally used for consumption purpose, but they are useful in livestock. As well as moisture requirement is moisture requirement require water requirement of this millets are very low as compared to the major millets and cereals. So students, if we talk about what water requirement, moody cereals require more water compared to this. Major and minor millets, for minor millets, you do not require much water. No additional irrigation required. Grow well in moisture stress condition also. So that is a general classification of cereals. I hope you have understand. Next one is next category is pulses crop. Students, pulses are basically the dal that we are consuming in the day to day life. We are eating be it your lentil, be it your moong, PGNP, all these are pulses. And pulse crops in agriculture terms means all the grain legumes, all the crops that we are growing for grain purpose also belongs to legume category. Now, what is the category legumes? um, to understand this thing, first of all we should know meaning of this term legumes. Basically, this legume term has been derived from Latin word leger, which means together, which means Latin word together, bringing together. To understand that, let us have a diagram over here. For example, this is your pulse crop. This is a plant of the pulse crop. Um, and now these pulse crops have their nodules in their root system. Okay. uh, Basically, these pulse crops have nodules extract structures in their roots. These nodules have rhizobium bacteria in them. Rhizobium bacteria, this is a bacteria which reside inside these nodules. Now, what is bacteria do is basically is they have this capacity to fix atmospheric nitrogen uh, through root nodules of the root. Okay, what is rhizobium is doing is bringing atmospheric nitrogen from the atmosphere and fixing it to the root root nodules. So, ma'am, what is the purpose means? Doing this means what is the advantage means? So the plant means basically plant requires nutrient for their growth and development, and nitrogen is one of the most important nutrient that is required for the plant. And if there is a mechanism through the plant can get their own automatically nitrogen, we do not need to supply any extra chemicals. Any extra chemicals not required in that case. They have this capacity, inbuilt capacity to fix the atmospheric nitrogen to the root of the crops. Now, all those crops which have this ability and known as legumes, and pulses are basically green legumes, grain legumes. Okay, all the grains that those are called pulses. These pulses have their special ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen, so that they have important for crop rotation. And basically sometimes what will happen when we grow early crops, legume crops, cereal crops like rice, the rice do not replenish back nutrient to the soil. They are exhaustive crop, they exhaust all the nutrients. Now in order to replenish the nutrient back to the soil, we grow pulse legume, another kind of cereals. This in legumes are very important in the crop rotation, as well as because of their ability to fixing atmospheric nitrogen to the soil. Okay, with that I hope what are all the pulses crops and is clear. Next, a few crops we are extracting oils. You might have seen that example of mustard. Mustard is basically a crop from which we are extracting the seed, and um, seed are used for extraction of oil. These seeds have fatty acids. Um, these seeds have fatty acids which formed which are formed for extraction of oil, primarily for the purpose of oil. Mustard, groundnut, sunflower, safflower, these are all the example of edible oilseed crops. Students, there are various types of oilseed crops that grown. For example, seed crops that are grown for extracting the that get consumed, that is called edible oil seed crops, which are not grown for cannot consume, but used for other purposes like oiling the lamp and medicines. Non-edible oil seed crops, that these are the two categories of oil seed crops. Okay, as the name suggests, edible oil seed, it can be consumed. Non-edible means not consumable oil seeds. Example: groundnut, soybean oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil. These are all editable, that is edible oil. Another hand, that is non-eatable oils. It's like karanja, mahua.